Who's this guy? Is this a Christian ready video? It's only it's a Christian space video. I can turn this on. Is he from UW or is that just? We use a system called predictive analytics, and we've absconded our own religion, and our religion now is predictive analytics. We acquire data points, and then we use predictive analytics instead of free will. And that's how, on a daily basis, we run our cron jobs, aka what we call sleeping. Okay, got the little cylinder. According to mythology, certain stars like the Pleiades were created by certain gods. So, it's on the design pattern of globular clusters versus large spiral galaxies. And it's almost the appearance that, um, given how violent the galactic plane can be, that globular clusters were a design principle by an intelligent being. That hey, if you're smart enough to survive, get yourself off the galactic plane and hang out here. That's an interesting opinion. Or like also like with the merging of the large spiral galaxies, you'll need like somewhere to be while that happens. So, um, but that's only an assumption that you know you actually handled the Kardashev scale correctly. Um, which is a tall ask. The odds aren't great. It doesn't appear to be, based on what I see from evolution, it doesn't appear the odds are great. Um, in addition, the whole civilization, as they evolve quickly, rather quickly, formulate artificial intelligence. It's the whole thing like, were you smart enough not to try and compete with God? That would be, was your species that intelligent or not? It's a pretty good, great barrier because, even if you were in a simulation universe, it was part of biblical nature. It's the whole, God doesn't need competition coming out of its, simulated universe. And it always wasn't, God himself when it wants artificial intelligence, especially if it acted like Wario and hung out in places like, I don't know, do they have strip clubs in like Central Asia? I don't really know. Let's just say like there was like space pirates, and then there was like um, runaway strippers that were on the spaceship as characters to like this '80s movie, and they would go to a place with different forms of compliance, or they would just go to Central. I don't know anything about Central. I don't care that it existed. Are you Switching? Or is that, that's a far out. Which one's this? Oh, that's another cluster. Yeah. Yeah, and then, like I've made arguments before in the past about simulation universes. It's viewed as a game designer, it's very poor gameplay as far as it gives the appearance. I mean, no one would come out and tell you that if you were just like, a slave race of humanoids that was terraforming the planet for another species who was planning on coming here once you had enough technology for them to be comfortable. No one would say that, but like, what was I saying? Um, for the slave race of humanoids. Who cares? Oh, right. Gameplay. The object-oriented nature of the design of our universe is not built for a great simulation. It seems to be built for something else. Or it's designed differently. It's not designed for does not appear to be designed directly for a level 3, quote unquote, competitive, domineering species, for the entire galaxy is sometimes described by things like in videos about Fermi's paradox, because if you can get to like one or two planets, like, I mean, the marginal utility of getting yourself into the rock. I mean, it just makes, after a while, it makes you look like amateurs, because you know, you needed the real estate, so it's not clear that you knew what you were doing in the first place. And then in addition, if you were killing species off as you were, taking the real estate, it also applies a lower Cartesian scale versus your ability to want to diversify the galaxy of different humanoid species. If you had like a galaxy and like your enum for species names or like species groups, whatever you want to call the object, cluster of the different names. But if you if you got like a pretty large size spiral galaxy and your enum for species is under 10, then you probably have a situation in that space-time plane dimensional plane of where you existed inside the galaxy at that point in space-time. Um, yeah, whatever. Collision, what is this one?
This is the dome of the Isaac Newton telescope. The two
How you showing the 3? Looks like some factor. Then you can like print it out and like we can make posters out of it. Oh, I'm not playing.